distance, 12 rounds.
For the first round,
Bradley Pryce from the Enzo Calzaghe gym in South Wales. Marcus Portman, very much a local favourite from West Brom, not too far away from here. Portman 27 years old, same age as Pryce, and Pryce tonight defending this title for a 6th time. Been a pro since 1999, Pryce, and was a very highly touted prospect before losing his undefeated record. I remember back in 2002 at Cardiff Castle against Ted Bammy, and his career went a little bit off the rails after that by his own admission. He wasn't as disciplined as he might have been, but he's grown in confidence and certainty of his ability as a fighter since winning this Commonwealth title, moving up to light middleweight, beating Ozzy Duran on points back in March 2006, and since then fighting like a champion and saying that he would like to emulate his gym mates Enzo Macronelli, Gavin Rees and of course Joe Calzaghe by moving on to have a world title shot of his own.
And rightly so, deservedly so. As you've already said, Pryce, a much improved fighter, champion in his own right, Commonwealth champion, and tonight defended his championship again for the 6th time.
Portman a southpaw, and I just wonder whether that's going to give Pryce problems, although having said that, the fact that he's in the same gym as one of the world's best southpaws, perhaps the world's best southpaw in Joe Calzaghe, he should know all about it.
Probably not, yeah. Probably not. He would have done probably hundreds of rounds with Calzaghe and know how to deal with the right-handed southpaw style.
Portman a pro since 2000. Fought Gary Walcombe for the British title in Wigan last December. Retired in that one after 8 rounds. He's fought at good standard, but his losses against Willie Limond, Matthew Hatton, Thomas McDonough suggest that when he does move up in class, he's found maybe just a little bit wanting. Perhaps this evening is going to be the difference.
Well, you know, in Pryce, he's going to be given all the problems he could want, because, as you said before, Pryce's confidence is right where it should be right now, and he's just stalking. And the trademark overhand right for the southpaw, that's the punch that Pryce is looking to adopt in this round.
Pryce, we know, can be an exciting fighter. Was in that thriller, he lost to Michael Jennings, but he did come back, and he's performed so well in the last 2 or 3 years, including a very impressive victory over Anthony Small last summer.
seconds out, round 3.
Fair to say, I think that Enzo Calzaghe is a little bit concerned with the way things are going.
Well, as well he may be, after seeing Pryce just totally switch off in that after having a very dominant first round. He's read the right act of his charge and wants to get him back to work.
Well, he wants to see him start throwing right hands, and Portman giving him plenty of trouble. I just got the impression that Pryce was hurt midway through the round by a body shot. There was a solid left hand came in from Portman, and Pryce just looked as though at that point he thought, whoa, hang on, what's going on here?
Well, it was enough to stop him in his tracks, make him regroup.
Portman not a noted puncher. Of his 19 wins in his 26 pro contests, only 3 have come by stoppage. Pryce with the 16 knockout wins in his 26 victories. Tonight in his 33rd pro contest.
I think the longer the fight goes, you know, obviously Portman's stamina will come into question, because we know Pryce can do the distance at pace, come on strong in the later rounds. But Portman at this point, his tactics are absolutely spot on.
He's giving Pryce all the problems he needs, isn't he? Just snaking out that reach, that right hand rather. He does have a reach advantage. Oh, that's a good shot. Good right hand. Looked as though he almost momentarily touched down, shook his head to the referee to say no, it was a slip, but it was a solid right hand from Pryce. Best punch that he's landed so far.
Well, Pryce has needed that. That'll give him the confidence that he needs. You know, Enzo told him, walk this man down. He's not a big puncher. Walk him down. Almost walk through his punches if need be to land your own. Just when you thought Price was being drawn into a trance by the southpaw right-handed boxer, he comes up with a little bit of magic.
Well, it was a really good shot, his best punch of the fight so far, and you can see that he's almost contemptuously coming in now with gloves low and just trying to tee off with that big right hand once more. He certainly listened to the words of advice from Enzo Calzaghe saying, come on, you've got to boss this fight, you're the man, get in there, get forward, throw the right hand, and that's precisely what he's done in this third round. Good left hand inside, thudding into the rib cage.
Price grinding confidence by the second. I think Portman has a cut on his left eye, right eye, sorry.
Yeah, it looks as though it's the right eye which is damaged. Suspect it's a punch which has done that. There's bruising there as well, and that's a big round for Price. Into the fourth round. It's a 12-rounder, remember. And Bradley Price, after a bit of a sticky second round, really finding his confidence and composure in the third and starting to land decisive, potentially decisive right hands. Of course, the accepted way to cope with the southpaw.
Absolutely. I'm glad Price has decided to get his hands up and not walk forward with contempt. I just think he can walk this guy down and just, you know, knock him out. At the end of the last round, dropping his hands and just looking to unload.
Portman getting in with that right hand lead that time, but no great authority in the jab, and Price able to just absorb it and close down the range and try and find his own big shots. He's got a bit head punching happy. He's got aiming everything in the direction of Portman's head at the moment.
Absolutely not landing too cleanly, Price. Missing him quite a lot.
He's smiling every time he gets through with one of those headshots, though. Price is fancying the job very much more than earlier on. He knows he can get to him, he knows he can hurt him. Had him staggered in the third round, now looking to put his foot on the accelerator and really apply more and more pressure on Marcus Portman.
Well, you know, Price is to stamp his claim to a world championship, or to at least challenge for a championship. He'll need an emphatic victory.
Well, I think he's starting to bust him up a bit here. Power shots coming from Price. There's blood around the nose now of Portman as well. And he's taking a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
He's starting to breathe a little bit heavily as well.
Yeah, there's a lot more desperation to Portman's work. Doesn't look as fresh as what he did, obviously, when he started in the fight. And in this round, I think it's been all Price, just bullying tactics. He's bullied Portman out of this round.
Price marking up just a little bit around his left eye. There's a reddening, maybe a smear of blood around the corner of his left eye. That's where that right-hand lead of Portman has managed to find the target. Price trying to walk his man down, though, and land the power shots. Maybe I was wrong about that suggestion that there was a nick on the face of Price. Looking closely on, he's on this side of the ring. Looks as though all the damage is in the face of Portman.